After soundly defeating the contract devil Urivian, the heroes discovered the blueprints for the prison level of the vaults. Amidst talk of their own motivations and retracing steps to cover their backs, they discovered mysterious pathways and disabled a well-disguised and dangerous trap. The heroes then returned to the imprisoned fugitive Zainemi, only to find her dead at the hands of Urivian's contracted Zebub. And in keeping with watching their backs and unraveling further mysteries, the heroes decided to return to one unexplored route, the lair of the Void Glutton.
Hello, creatures and denizens of the uncharted world. This is Freeman from Uncharted North, and I am plugging your ear holes now with a little bit of a favor to ask. We really could use some help on the word-of-mouth end of our project. We want you to go out and tell a friend about one of our shows, or possibly the potential of future shows that might be in their interests. Word of mouth is incredibly important for a small network like ours, and each and every one of you can help another listener find us by mentioning us to, a friend, a game master, a dungeon master that you know, someone in the street. Pick a rando wearing a cool hat or a gnarly shirt or some wicked boots. Just think about what Scott might wear and pinpoint that person, and then you pretty much bet they're going to be into this. That would go such a long way for us. And we assume that some of you are already doing this because you're still listening, and that's really great. So we'd also like to remind those who are doing this and helping us out, but have not done this yet, that we have a free public Discord where most of our dedicated fans hang out with the crew and chat on a daily basis. You know, we chat about it all. We have laughs. We support each other with mental health. We just talk about gaming and different games we want to play and movies and music and whatever. We talk about all of it. You can hit that up easily through our website, unchartednorth.ca, or unchartednorth.com/discord will send you straight to an invite link. And if you really like and have the ability to help us move forward in creating more shows and receiving cool rewards in return, we've been working really hard on our Patreon structure. You can go to patreon.com/unchartednorth and find what we have on offer for various tiers to become more involved, a couple little bits of paraphernalia and fun things, and goals towards the future of what other shows we want to produce, how many more we would like to produce, and so on. But that's it. We really appreciate you listening. We hope that you've enjoyed most of the episodes so far. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. We hope you stick around for more episodes as we push forward and do more and more fun things. I don't want to take up any more of your time, so that's it from me. Thank you very much. Love, Freeman, aka The Barn.
What is up, dirty dogs and dirty dogettes? And whatever type of diggity dog you feel like today.
Inclusive.
Speak.
I
Just
know.
glad he didn't say dirty bitches.
I was waiting for it.
Scotty in the zoo in the morning keeps it
The
PG-13.
caffeine doubles down. I was like, oh, fuck, never mind. Keep going. Push past.
Yeah. Caffeine
I mean, I'm
doubles
pretty
a
sure
ride.
that was
Thank
it.
you very much.
Speaking of whatever you want to be, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Huh? When you looked at your life ahead of you and you had all the world ahead of you.
Oh, so
What
we're
did
going
you think you were
depressing.
going to be?
Okay.
I mean,
Let's talk about how we're all.
I wanted to be a podcaster.
yeah. That's right, baby.
Even as a
You
kid, my
and
mom
Joe
always said I had a face for
Ow.
radio.
I wanted
Cam,
to be an
kick us
astronaut,
off.
100%. Yeah, no, I
Classic.
was
Love it.
9 years old, and at NASA they used to have these reentry landers, and I don't know if the person working there was lying to me, but she said that I was the youngest person she had ever seen actually manage to land the thing. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, probably.
Definitely lying to you.
Yeah, well, Houston
at
like
NASA?
has NASA like mission control like is literally 30 minutes from where I live or less.
Oh, I thought they were talking to a guy named Houston.
But yeah, wanted to be an astronaut.
I didn't really have any I have no particular memories of wanting to be a particular something. The only thing that it kind of comes to mind is maybe firefighter, but I feel like that's just because I grew up in a house literally right across the street from a fire station. So like every day, like the thing was open and you saw the big truck and they were hosing it down and doing
The
this, that, and
commute.
the other, and you know.
Yeah,
You
like
got the
just
calendar
shirtless
every
dudes.
year.
Yeah, my mom's best friend would literally come over. Like my bedroom was like on the sort of upper floor, and the window faced across the street. She would go into my bedroom and just like stare
God.
at the firemen because they were all young and hot.
That's so wild.
Uh,
Fuck.
yeah, but yeah, I got nothing. I have absolutely no idea what I would have wanted to have been when I was a kid.
Great yes
occurred
and,
to me.
Freeman.
Yeah, just didn't think about it.
Dunk. What's up, dog? What do you want to be?
I'm still working on it. I also went astronaut for a little bit. Didn't really have the nearby launch sites to kind of get more involved, but did have Jurassic Park on VHS, so was going paleontologist for a little bit as a kid.
Ooh, yeah.
Then it was piano player, which I took right up until it became like a serious consideration, and then I was like, wait a minute, this isn't a job. I'm not going to fucking school for this anymore, and that's why I'm doing podcasts now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the Maritime Canada space program is really hampered by a couple things. It's the constant in between of imperial and metric measurements that we're stuck at on all of Canada, and
Yeah, that fucked up
Dude,
NASA
it
pretty
really
bad a couple
yeah,
times.
and the clashing language barrier of New Brunswick, of just all the Acadian French and Fringlish. It's just like it's not very conducive, you know. So it's the only reason we haven't really hit the stars yet.
I thought you were going to say it was wind, fog, and IQ. But,
That's good. That's good.
Our space program is just two East Coasters with a 40 and a bottle rocket.
dude, sign me up for
Sounds like a
that,
blast.
man.
Yeah,
That actually does sound
Hey.
like
on
a
the East
weekend.
Coast.
just got a mural of the Trailer Park Boys on it.
Yeah.
James, what did you want to be when you were young?
I wanted to be a Jag until I realized
Aw.
that we didn't have them.
And now you're just a jag
What's a
off.
jag?
Jag.
It's a military lawyer, specifically for the Navy. It's a judge advocates general or something like that. They're just like a special investigation force for the Navy, and they act as trial lawyers.
I remember the TV show Jag existing.
Wait, what?
I've never seen it. I just wanted to be a lawyer and a fighter pilot. My dad's like, yeah, they have those.
You just had to come to this shithole.
Okay.
You have revealed to us on the podcast already, I think, at one point about where you switched that over to wanting to be a chef. Because we talked about like food and like significant moments when you were younger, I think. And yeah, I remember you talking about that. Was it a veal steak you had?
Yeah, it was venison.
Venison.
But I also learned pretty quickly that I'm too tall to fly fighters, so I would have been relegated to helicopters because even cargo planes didn't have the headroom for a guy like me.
Oh yeah.
And helicopters just seemed lame to a 14-year-old, so I got it a Dodge.
Oh, crazy. I had a model of a helicopter. an Apache that was had lightning all over it, and I was pretty into that. Also,
That's pretty sick.
another good movie, which I believe might be about Jags, is A Few Good Men with Tom Cruise. And also,
Yeah, I think he's a jag.
I also call people Jags sometimes in my life, but
Yeah.
it actually means jack off.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when you said I want to be a
problems with
jag,
that either.
I laughed to myself.
You want to get made fun of by Mark Wahlberg?
Fucking jag
Like, you fucking jackass.
The jag for me was always a reference of like getting tipsy or getting close to drunk. You're like, I had a good jag on.
That
when
sounds
this
made
thing
up as
happened.
fuck.
Okay.
It was like just before the threshold of being drunk. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
What-
I think
what
that's
did-
an East Coast thing, maybe.
Did
Yeah,
Scoop
maybe.
say
It's
what
gotta
you
be.
yeah.
Well, what I wanted to be was I was really young,
plumber?
and I told my mom I wanted to be a beach bum, and then she was like, "That's not a job. You should pick a real career." And so I said, "Okay, I'll be a lawyer for beach bums." And then I realized that lawyers were jags, and I didn't do that.
But Buddy Barber, the beach bum.
It's all B's and C's, baby.
Feels right. Feels right.
Mhm.
All right.
crap.
Well, speaking of trials and tribulations, let's get into this combat.
Oof. Oof.
That was
Yeah.
that's not even a segue. It's a complete lack thereof.
Come on.
Clearly didn't want to be an expert Segway writer when you grew up.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Speaking of fear
I
of
have
the
nothing
future,
No, it was good. It was good. I'm just busting.
Oh, I'd like to use a hero point on that segue. Anyone else
No, I'm
want to
pretty
use
good.
a hero point right now?
Because beach bums are your heroes.
Shut up.
No, we're getting there. We're a team.
Yeah, I kind of called for the will of the saving throw, and then paused, let you all roll, and then cut the episode off. It was kind of glorious.
The old Cliffy.
Yeah, we have a few wishes for hero point rolls. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. Let's just run through who got what first. Tulok rolled a 28, Lump rolled
That's
a
right.
29, Krucka rolled a 22, and Raphael rolled a natural 1 for a 14. Who's re-rolling?
Rough is for sure. Because
Okay.
that roll was rough.
Krucka
Yep.
is as well.
Okay.
Are you fucking
another
kidding
natural
me?
one.
Listeners, I rolled a second natural one.
Ooh, you're meant to
It's
die.
nice to know you, Rough.
Yeah, that really means
Smell
it.
you later.
Krucka, would you roll?
A 25, so meager improvement, but
Mm.
improvement nonetheless.
Okay. This is actually kind of perfect for you, James, because of my description of what Ruff was going through and this impossible amount of information flashing before his eyes almost. And it's extremely overwhelming.
It's not
Basically
a fail
what
so
happens
much as it is an epileptic seizure.
every one of you fails, and Ruff critically fails, of course. And you are all left weeping and sobbing uncontrollably.
Don't
Ruff.
tempt me with a good time.
So I came down with the condition known as my Friday nights.
Oof. That is an insane DC though. Like, what the fuck?
You
This is
have
weird. I usually
all
cry that
been...
hard in the shower.
When I have to get up and go to work.
You have all been basically hit with a wave of despair, and mechanically it would actually like slow you down via your sobbing. It's the failure that makes this happen for a full minute. Critical failure is just consistently slowed, even worse to the beyond that. But you're basically all just having this incredible moment where you're basically inconsolable and nearly non-functional. But we haven't rolled initiative, and we're not going to roll initiative because that is all that happens as this kind of subsides. That's probably one of the longest minutes of your lives. You can see that the room itself just has the dead bodies of what appears to be a lavender-skinned elf, a spider-like humanoid, and a transparent fleshed humanoid, all dead, just hanging within the webs.
Rotten?
But before you'll see that, but like before you even sort of register that, I want to know how you are all reacting to
I think
recovering from this.
Lump probably has not cried that hard since they were a child, like since they were Sal, and is just remembering the shrieks and the cries of their family and the others as people were torn to shreds, and them running with their mother out to escape.
And Kruk, I mean, having seen his own face but green, but with cuts all over it, so listeners and us will know that that's Krugga, but himself not too sure. He's brought back to, you know, those visions he'd been having of, you know, his mother that he was sure of, and now he's becoming more kind of clear that there may have been someone else on that boat, and, you know, as he's crying, he kind of like loses himself in the feeling of being, you know, in that windswept kind of rain-lashed night, and then kind of just has to, like, you know, center himself and, you know, push it aside. And
I'd imagine you'd almost like you're it's such an intense emotional moment that like you're sweating and like you're crying, and for a moment you feel as though it's actually just fear and the storm, the rain from the storm upon your face and head. But it's actually
exactly.
quite the opposite when you kind of snap out of it. It is you sweating and weeping.
Yeah, and then he just has to swallow it down as he realizes where he actually is, and then kind of, you know, realizing that he's completely still in danger, you know, get his wits about him and have to save it for later.
I think Raphael's eye just starts to glow with the same magical color that it has before when the Sheikah has taken hold. And based on your description of what happened to him, I don't think this is so much a wave of despair so much as the Sheikah locking him up, like, you know, pressing the lock key to suspend. And he does essentially have what appears from the outside to be a seizure. Just the Sheikah trying to protect his brain and his body from this onslaught of not only emotion but stimuli.
Yeah. Oh, what a scene.
And Tulok sees his family members, and it just begins a series of visions from his family members to Azori to the townspeople to Physic to Samal, Gilda, and just all these people that he has seen die. Carmen, like everybody, they're all just kind of hovering in his mind, and he's clawing at his eyes with them closed and tears streaming down his face. He's crumpled to the floor beside the bed, and he just can't get away from these visions until the time subsides.
Well, in the last episode, you all spent quite a few hero points, and the start of this one on not a whole lot. So you can all have one.
Oh, thanks.
For all of your descriptions. I almost gave you another one in the last episode, Cam, but
Fair. I don't
not
need
to.
You know, you don't have to say those things.
Oh, but I was like,
That's fine.
nah, not good enough.
I don't deserve it. I'll try harder.
Wow.
Papa.
Color me
That's my boy.
disappointed. Where's this fucking creature?
Not here.
Can I do an Arcana check on the shimmering mirror?
There is no mirror there. It is just a flat stone wall, but it seems like a carved archway in it, as if it was used at some point for like a some sort of portal or teleportation magic or something. But there appears to be no magic coming off it at all.
Tulok will detect.
You detect magic, and there's a couple of curious little items on the bodies in the webs inside this little chamber. you can see that the what is obviously a drow has some prayer beads on his wrist. And you can see that what you know probably now is an Erdafon has a nice longbow, and the obvious upper torso of a Drider seems to have a bottle of liquid of some kind on its bandolier. Bottle of blue liquid.
I'll roll
Nana.
a religion to figure out the prayer beads.
Sure thing.
I'll roll a crafting for the liquid.
A 20.
Ooh.
I'm afraid you don't know with a 20.
A 23.
That you know. It is an alchemical elixir called a mist form elixir. 1 action to drink. Makes you concealed for 3 rounds.
We can beat this thing at its own game if it comes after us.
Anyone else want to try the pair of beads?
I got a 26 on the longbow with Arcana.
The longbow you can pick up pretty quickly. It is a +1 striking composite longbow.
That's tight as hell.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty damn valuable.
that's a Krucka weapon. If I
It is, yeah. A composite allows you to add your strength modifier to range damage with it, which is wild. It's a very good
let's do
range
that.
weapon.
Gonna get rid of...
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'll
or
throw
Lump.
that.
I mean, Lump's got a decent strength as well.
Yeah, that's
depending
true.
On what
just
their
Lump
range is looking like.
Carries shield and Lump has spells to distance, so definitely Krucka.
Yeah. The upside to the composite longbow is it's much more powerful than your returning lighthammer, but the downside is that returning lighthammer, you can change grip and pick it up and throw it and then change back again without having to drop or stow your axe. The longbow, not so much freedom.
It's also not volley 30.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This kind of gives me the full range, like for throwing up to 35 feet, right? And then after that, the volley 30 feet to 100 feet. So I don't have to waste any movement if I want to shoot something.
It's pretty awesome because, if something is at a proper distance, one of them is better. And it is the longbow. But if it's a little bit closer, but you need some range, the lighthammer is your guy.
Tell you what he does need is I have some arrows. Okay, never mind.
Anyone else want to try the prayer beads?
Is that religion?
It's any of them.
I will.
Oh yeah, crafting.
And third natural one.
Yeah.
Get them out of the way now.
Natural 5 for an 28. 28, go, God. Natural 5 for a 23.
I get the 31 from Krucka.
Ooh.
See, Krucka picks up on it.
Krucka.
These are just called holy prayer beads. They're a strand of ordinary-looking prayer beads that glow with soft light and become warm to the touch the first time you cast a divine spell while holding it. When you do, the prayer beads become attuned to your deity, changing their form and iconography to predominantly incorporate your deity's religious symbol and iconography. The beads don't transform or function for an evil spellcaster. No longer really applicable. But basically, whenever you cast a divine spell from your own spell slots while holding the prayer beads, you recover 1 HP. Which is a positive healing effect. And if the spell you cast was a healing spell, you can grant this additional healing to one of the spell's targets instead of yourself. It can also allow you to cast Bless or Heal once per day.
Neat.
It's a level 5 item.
Neat. That sounds like an anyone but Krucka.
No, it's a Lump only. They're the only one with the divine spell list.
Okay.
Sure is. Going to Lump.
And it doesn't require an investment.
And who wants the Mist Form Elixir? It doesn't, yeah. Crazy.
Ruff will take the Mistform Elixir then. Sure. Tulok isn't interested.
Tulok's got enough shit.
Well, he's got a talkative backpack he needs to constantly feed.
Thank you for not putting any of those webby, slicky, slimy items in.
Hope you're building up an appetite, Duffy.
Based on our track record, I haven't been properly hungry in a very long time.
Yes, Duffy, I thought you could use a break.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
So unpleasant.
Lump immediately just throws up everywhere. Oh God. No, getting back on track. I guess I'll give a perception to see if we're missing anything, or is there recall knowledge, or I feel like we've hit a dead end, and that's okay. But just
Yeah, well, roll me a perception in the sort of vein of
All
a
right.
sense motive,
another 35.
I guess. Okay, yeah, you get the very specific vibe that this chamber is something of
For
a
the
trophy
Void Glutton
room.
or somebody else.
Maybe for somebody else originally, maybe a different purpose originally, but right now probably
Okay.
Void Glutton trophy room, given the sticky ectoplasmic web that has held everything up.
Well, where is this fucking thing?
That's a good question.
And what's the decomposition like on the corpses?
Uh,
Another classic James pickup line.
thorough.
Oh God.
It's a musty, dry room, so most of the rot is kind of finished. But you get the vibe that this is the abomination vaults. The inner workings of this place have often not had a consistent aging. You might even recall as a player from the surface, like parts of the ruins above were like they were crumbling from a long, long time, but there were pieces that should have been crumbled even further, much longer ago. There is a preservation in the magic of this place.
Is one of them missing an arm?
Ooh.
Sure.
Okay, so they're probably at least 500 years old.
Yeah.
I can actually say the description here says Labrador's can delve the legless body of a spider-like humanoid and the hideous humanoid with transparent flesh. That's all it really specifies.
So probably not from the vision.
Yeah, probably not. But
Basically, the Drider without the
Yeah.
lower portion.
yeah.
Okay. So that's fucking annoying. Sorry, listeners.
Yeah,
we're looking for
I
a
mean,
fight.
I apologize especially on the behalf of their foolishness.
Yeah, that's okay. We're dumb.
Yeah.
Why is it gone?
Yeah. Tulok turns to his companions. What do you think could have happened here? It was right here. Is it something to do with the stairs? Did we come at it from the wrong angle? What is going on here?
Perhaps we
I
scared
don't know
it
anything
off.
about the creature, but was there anything in your research to suggest that it is a pattern of, or like a ghost or a specific set of conditions that must be met?
It is simply a
Like,
wisp.
can I roll anything to know about wisps?
Yeah, you could roll me an occult, I believe. Yeah, you don't know much. You don't know much at all.
Maybe one of us has to be afraid because it feeds on fear.
I would imagine that it's to some degree that Tulok at the very least would have caught you up to speed on what
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
they've learned
And,
along
like,
the way. The heroes
I mean-
have learned along the way. So you have an idea that they have connections to swamps. They have connections to Nimbaloth even. That they tend to they seem formless, but they are in fact solid. But their natural state is invisibility. They are highly immune to magic, but there are different varieties and types with different immunities and different abilities.
I don't believe that there's a specific set of conditions. Perhaps we should just count our blessings and continue on.
Before
Yeah,
we
they-
get out of Dodge, can I just roll a lore abomination vaults and see if anything pops from his past experiences?
Sure.
Oh.
It's a 30.
Yeah, you sort of sift through the memories of others in your head, and what are you trying to pinpoint here exactly? Something about this room, or something about the denizens of the vaults?
void gluttons specifically, because
Hmm.
some wisps spend a lot of time in the first world, so maybe one of his other counterparts figured out why this particular type of wisp would have been bound here, or something along those lines.
Yeah, you would actually think that there's no there's no reason for them to have ever been bound here. If that's a suspicion, it's more like they were probably drawn here, in a sort of instinctual way. And probably because of the hints that you've received so far about what lies near the bottom of this. Something that is connected to the outer goddess Nimbaloth. Something that would draw them here is like that is something that would draw them here. Not to mention, the worship of this goddess through a powerful sorceress. They would attach themselves to such a powerful person and not find themselves in servitude, but certainly willing servants.
All right, so he learns nothing. Not that was a great exposition. It's just nothing concrete that he can pass on to the other party members. That's just general wisp stuff that I'm sure they've all got from their research.
Shall we head down then?
I guess what I'll add to that, it's still not going to add too much more for what maybe Ruff wants to say, but you would gather that wisps would have been here in Belcora's day, and wisps would have come here in the centuries after the fact as well. At no point, would this place have necessarily, or the area, been devoid of wisps, thanks to the nature of this place and the nature of its use.
Right.
It would never be wisp.
I am willing to go down, but if we are to descend to the next level, I would prefer to get a good night's rest and regain my divine energies.
Yeah, depending on how Freeman wants to do it, that's going to be something
Depends
like
on the
50
DC.
climb checks.
To do what?
Climb down the chains.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe we should go for that featherfall.
Sorry, it's going to be 20 climb checks. Depending
20
on the DC and how hard the DC gets hit.
20 basic successes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll need to be trained, which I think you both are, but 20 in a row successes.
But
we don't need to do this though. I can cast fly on the three of us and we can carry you down. Raphael.
Tulok, I appreciate your willingness to expend your powers, but if we get to the bottom and there's a fight, you may need them for something else. We can purchase the scrolls of Featherfall, and that it's...
You don't understand, Sal. We don't have time. We just came from town. We've barely been here. We need to go
Sal
down.
Shuts up.
Seeing Tulok's desperation, Raphael will also acquiesce.
Good. It's settled then. And he turns on his heel and leaves.
Right. So we follow Tulok and do Scott's plan.
Hey, Scott, how many 4th rank spell slots you got left?
One.
Then why
We
not go
rest.
back to town and just get the Featherfall? It's the same amount of time.
Because then but you don't get
Why
your
wouldn't I
spells
get my
back.
spells back? We're going to town to sleep.
Going to town and sleeping is not the same amount of time as sleeping here and then just immediately going down.
I mean,
in my
like, it's one
opinion.
of those things that, like, I don't know if it's the same in 2E, because I can only get my spells once per day, so, like, if I rest, like, it has to be within that 24 hours. Like, I can't just go to bed right now and get my spells again, you know? Like, Freeman, do we know what time it is? Just...
Yeah, because we've always played fast and loose with that, but you're kind of not wrong, like, in the sense that, like, you can't just go to sleep, spend 10 minutes casting all your spells, and then go to sleep for 8 hours and have them all back again. That would be a bit too much. But we've always spent extra time in town. We've always spent extra time doing this and role playing, and we've definitely not done it every 24 hours, quote unquote. But we've never been too we've never abandon the rule too wholly. It is about I'm gonna have to add some time here to the clock since the last episode. I think we can safely say it's been at least a couple of hours since you defeated Eurevian.
Okay.
So we'll say it's about 11 a.m. But yeah, resting is a lot bigger waste of time, technically, was Cam's point,
Then just go buy
than it
scrolls
is to
and
hustle back, get the thing, hustle back in again. Yeah. Because the rest does need to be much longer than you're thinking.
Okay. I see your point. Perhaps I was being a little hasty. You should head back to town.
Mr. Tulok,
Yes, Raphael.
do you have access to translocate or warp step or anything along these lines?
Yes, I do.
Perhaps, and this is only a suggestion, it would behoove us to either translocate and send one to Otari and leave the other 3 here for
I'm
research.
not particularly good at research, and if I understand translocate, you cannot send somebody else. It is a spell that affects you yourself. I can, however, move quickly and with purpose to get there and come back.
Do you have warp step?
No, but neither does Scott.
Right.
I have translocate.
I might.
I will stay.
I do. So I could just keep spamming warp step in. I mean, it's not going to do anything with my wand, but yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking with a translocate, you could just essentially bamf yourself 200 feet closer, get to town faster, meet us in the library with Augrail. We do a little bit of research, we do some rest, and we call it a night.
No,
there,
I get
is
that. I guess
was
what I'm
thinking.
Well, translocate at its base level
Where you're
is
going.
like you have to see the place you're bamfing to. At
Right.
higher levels,
I'm not
you can do
saying-
it within like a mile. Yeah.
I mean, it's not so far that we wouldn't get more than 1 extra research or 2 extra researches out of it.
Yeah.
Just by conventional conveyance.
I James understand that that's not the proper use of that spell or the reason why we should use it. Raphael said that in character to try and dissuade Tulok's nerves about returning to town. He's trying to prove that they can get back to Otari expediently, get back, and not waste any of that time that Tulok seems to be concerned about.
Tulok turns to Raphael and says, "Cooler minds prevail. You're right. I will stay here in the library. Whoever deems they'd like to go back to town should go. And whoever decides to stay, we can get some research done on things that we can't research in town. Our research in town was fruitless last time we were there, so yes, we should spend some time here while we wait."
If Lump is the one who's going to head back to town, I can try and overcharge this wand of Tailwind and give you an extra typical speed bonus. If that
I
helps.
appreciate the level of effort, but you potentially destroy your wand forever for
Yeah.
literally saving 20 minutes. Like, it just doesn't seem worth it. Like, I appreciate the optimization, but I'm just gonna feel like shit if you break your wand to give me 20 minutes of time. Like, I
like permanently.
Lump and Cam do
Yeah.
not understand this
Sure.
level of time pressure, because, like, holy shit, like, we're about to go down another level where each time you've gone down a level, like, Tulok knows, like, the things have gotten more dangerous, the things have gotten worse. And he's like, "Nah, let's go in there. No spells. Fuck it, we ball." Like, and like, I'm a strong proponent of fuck it, we ball. But like, this is some fucking shit right here to both Lump and Cam. So, Master Shu, please save your wand. I will hurry as fast as I can. I'm, believe it or not, very endurance oriented, a persistent hunter, if you will.
As you were then. Could you perhaps pick up a 5th instance of the scroll? And he'll try and hand you 4 gold pieces so we can inscribe it into his
Of
spellbook.
course, if they have that many in town, I will retrieve as many as I can. And then Lump will take off while they do research.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll head to the book depository with Augrail, I guess. That's yeah, and the secret library. Yeah, it's on the same floor.
We do that thing where we awkwardly say goodbye and then go in the
Library.
same direction.
Yeah.
Lump's just moving a little bit faster to make it seem like they're actually in a hurry.
Like you get into the teleportation circle room and you just like stand there and the Krugga just starts like whistling elevator music.
Well, this is awkward.
So nice weather we're having, right?
Krugga just looks up.
Okay, while I look up whether or not Featherfall is available to you in town, why don't you tell me what you're researching?
Researching Nimbaloth.
Researching Nimbaloth.
Yeah, probably the same.
At the main library.
I was gonna say the same, but maybe I'll do Will-O-Wisps if they're both doing Nimbaloth.
Well, we've got a lot of checks for Nimbaloth left if you want to bang that out too.
True, we could just try to
Yeah,
crush
we're gonna want to know some stuff. We're getting into heavy Nimbaloth territory given the decor down there.
Yeah.
And I think Raphael could handle a single reading of the Whispering Reeds if you just did 10 minutes.
Ooh. That excites me. I was thinking in between the times since we last recorded, I was thinking about this book.
You've yet to crack it, I think, because you did realize that there is danger to reading it. But I don't remember if you know what the danger is or not. But
We do, yeah.
Okay, Krugga's first roll was a nat 1, so I'm going to use one of those hero points. Because he doesn't want to burn down the library.
oh, come on.
2 nat 1s in a row.
No.
He burnt down the library.
And he found an Infernal Braille book. But when he opened it, it sparked with embers and then lit the whole place on fire. Damn it!
Oh no, get a bucket of sand, not water, sand.
There is a fire suppression room nearby. Don't forget that.
We should not have sent Lump to town. I think that's our best religion.
Let's see what we get here. Yeah, it is a religion check, yep, and or applicable lore. You have Nimbaloth lore. You can roll that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tulok can use Join Past. Now,
Haven't seen
as
this in a while.
Join Past has become heightened, I can touch additional targets to include them in the spell's effects. Multiple targets can attempt aid checks to the target who is attempting to recall knowledge. And if you don't remember, you can aid using any lore skill, even if the lore doesn't apply.
Right. Yeah. Cool. And then do these aids stack in their bonuses? Because typically they don't, right?
Well, I doubt it, but it just gives you...
So it's basically allowing multiple people to have the chance of using a lore over a recall knowledge, a normal recall knowledge.
I would assume so.
It's still pretty neat, but you have to remember that double check your bonuses are for whatever lore you might have versus whatever your religion is.
Well,
maybe
my
yours
religion is
are better.
poo, but my bookbinding lore is sick.
I can't believe the bookbinding lore is going to be applicable to aiding in a research on Nimbaloth.
Doesn't even crack the book. Just like staring at the spine. Like.
Unbelievable. Okay. Do you want to take the lead on this with your Nimbaloth lore, James? That means the DC is lower using a lore. And then...
Sure.
Go ahead and join pasts with Tulok and Krugga. Perhaps one of your lores, if you want to roll them, will win out on an aid.
And also, he will touch the forehead of Augrail.
Oh, shit. What does Augrail have for lore?
I aid with a 25.
Okay. Aid's DC's probably gone up pretty substantially since the last time we did this.
Augrail doesn't have any lore. I feel like Augrail should have library lore.
Yeah, he's got to have library lore. He's got nothing else to go with right now.
I'm adding library lore to his list. What his bonus should be, I'm not sure.
30, 32, your choice.
What level is he? Okay, and
Level
then
3.
if you want to make him an expert, that would give him a 7, and then plus intelligence modifier.
Mm-hmm. Int mod is 1, so plus 8.
What a dumbass.
You just got a Bachelor of Library Science from like the Underground Infernal University.
It was all done online.
Look, he is level 3 undead who's just happy to read. He's just not very smart. He's a bit of a workhorse.
His poetry says
okay, so-
otherwise.
In fact, I'd like to hear some of his poetry right now.
Oh, would you? Would you?
Oh, hello. You've got a new friend. Who is this cute little puppy dog? Hello, I'm Ogrel.
Good day to you, Ogrel. I understand that you have welcomed us to your domain. You have our gratitude and our aid, even if you appear to be a ghoul.
Oh, I don't just appear to be one. I am one, but sort of a unique one, or so I've gathered. You're very friendly. I like that. What's your name?
Huh. Today, I am Raphael. Yes.
Ah, Raphael, welcome to my domain, as you say. Ogrel and Raphael, sitting in a tree. Researching.
Really rolls off the tongue, Ogre.
Does Raphael feel anything at this point? Like any sort of deific pull?
Friendship?
Well, no, one of the edicts of Pharasma, his deity, is to destroy undead.
Ooh.
I would say no. I would say there's like this tingling in the back of your brain that's like, oh, I'm supposed to do something about this, or I was once supposed to do something about this. But it is no longer the primary objective, and you are no longer at the mercy of anathema or edicts.
Got it. Compromises to be made in wartime.
Indeed.
Yeah. Friends beat God.
As they always should. Holy shit. Yeah, all right. I guess Nimbleoth lore, he's going to read one thing of the Whispering Reeds.
Okay.
That's a 22.
Make that a 23. If a 25 is an aid now.
Okay, so I'm gonna apply this lore here. So Whispering Reeds.
DC 20. According to your research layout, it should be academia lore, library lore, outer god
no,
lore.
I'm going. You're rolling Nimbleoth lore on a book that is specifically dedicated to followers of Nimbleoth. I'm gonna go a step further and make it a DC 18.
Oh, okay.
I originally had here outer god lore as a specific, but you're even more specific in your lore than that. So DC 18, 10 minutes spent. That is a success.
Sweet.
Where does that put you on the thresholds?
One.
Let me just double check.
7.
You have 6 out of 24 right now.
This will be the first one for Whispering Reeds, though.
Yeah, first one for Whispering Reeds. That puts you. So you need 3 per threshold, kind of thing. So you're one step towards out of 3 to the next threshold.
How does he feel?
That's a very good question.
Raphael, you read from the book, my friend. How do you feel? And Tulok, as he says this, if Raphael is holding it, Tulok kind of helps him press it closed as he finishes.
Okay, so you've read the Whispering Reeds, and as you read it, you actually get a for studying this particular stuff. Recall knowledge checks about Nimbleoth and her faith. Using this book, you actually get a +2 item bonus on top of the aid, even.
Sick.
Yeah, so pretty awesome. However, each time This is effectively an activation of the book. Each time you use this ability, this activation, after the first in a 24-hour period, you are exposed to something. You're exposed to something called the Empty Death. And I need a will save.
Okay, 1 second. It's a 19.
Fail.
I will use my ability Turn Back the Clock.
Okay.
Once per day, I can reroll a failed skill check or saving throw, essentially just jolting himself back through time.
That's sick.
So cool.
But I have to use this result, even if it's worse.
So you're re-rolling.
That's a natural
We
20
love
for a
that.
33.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Holy crap. Now this is worded strangely, and I think it's worded not quite. I think it's worded poorly, so I was having a little trouble understanding it in full. But I believe, especially with the critical success, that you have avoided the effects of the Empty Death, whatever that may be.
I mean, I don't know if empty death or full death would be worse.
I mean, Raphael's felt both at this point.
Yeah, Freeman,
let's
real
just
quick, does
avoid
Raphael
the
feel
deaths
anything?
entirely.
Actually, strictly speaking, an empty death is something you would have never felt. And I know that.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a very particular thing associated with Nimbaloth.
For the listeners, Freeman's looking awful coy right now.
It is, what I'll say meta-wise, it is the reason why stopping all of this. It's one of the reasons why stopping all this is so unbelievably important. An empty death is not a good thing.
I wonder if it's your soul gets diverted from the well of souls and you're not able to continue on in the cycle or something like that. Which would explain why Raphael's not capable of experiencing something like that with the Shaika inside of him.
Could be. Maybe we should ask one of the fucking dozens of ghosts we've seen around the place.
Next time. So that's one. How much time do we have for...
Despite the natural 20, though, I will, Cam did ask, did Raphael feel anything? Yes. There would have been this peripheral sense of paranoia filling your mind, as if something were watching you from the other side of death.
Right.
But you stave off the effects it has on your mind.
That juxtaposition would be very difficult for him. He's starting to grow used to other people watching him from inside, but to suddenly feel these eyes from outside on him from essentially the same plane of existence would definitely rattle his cage.
Mm-hmm. Using this book it's so easy to find the information you need, but it is so dangerous to use it.
Who's next?
I
Maybe don't do the Whispering Reeds thing, but there's more Nimbaloth shit to roll.
Yeah, just during that time, I think Tulok is going to attempt a religion check.
Okay.
Come on. 3 on the die for a 13.
Not so much.
You know what? Hero point. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
20.
And you're just doing the library, right? You're not using the Whispering Reeds?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. 20 still doesn't do it.
Damn it.
You need a 15 or higher, basically.
You need 15
Nah.
Got
All right. Can we just get a breakdown of how much time we have to research, and I can just roll those checks because it's
Yeah,
2
let's do. I
hours
mean,
per
so
check.
if you're just using the library, it's 2 hours apiece. So 2 hours
Yeah.
definitely gone already.
So,
Let's expedite.
so that would put us at about 13. So
Well, did Crockett get
what
one?
time do we?
that first one was a natural 1, so we'll move on.
Okay.
Just hear him tear a page out of a book.
Yeah. If you want to have done 10 minutes on the book and then 2 hours your own research, we could just call it 2 hours and 10 minutes right now
Yeah, sure.
and just roll one if you want, James.
Crockett just gets a flash of like Krugga's face in his mind again as he's trying to read and is overcome with a hatred of the book that he's reading and just like throws it from him.
flashes of kinship.
Yeah. Oh my god. It comes back to. Oh no, I love books. What's going on?
What do you got, James?
29.
Yep, that'll get you 1 point closer. You spend another 2 hours trying to get to that next threshold.
Well, so I'm just trying to do the math. So we need essentially 11 hours to rest if there's going to be 4 of us. But I guess with Augril there, it could be, we could knock it down to 10 for being.
Augril could just
Coy.
stay watch the whole time. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
sleep.
Oh, okay. So we need an 8-hour rest. So that gives us 11 hours. So we could each get 5 more checks in. And then however long it takes Lump for them to get back.
Okay. All right, James, roll me 5 checks. And tell me what time we're supposed to end at. It's 13 now.
Midnight.
Okay.
I don't know how many that was. Okay, 29. 1, 2.
Tulak, you rolled a whole bunch. What are you doing?
3.
I joined pass and ate on 4 of them.
Okay.
Okay. We have a 35,
Crit.
26, a 30, a natural 1 for a 17, and a 27.
Okay, so crit gives you 2. How many successes do you have there? 25 or above?
4.
Okay, so that's 4 more points. So
Unless
6.
Tulak
gained.
wants to join past, or unless Tulak aided, that's 17, in which case it would be 5 successes.
I did.
I'm shooting for DC 18 here, right, with the Outer God lore?
Oh yeah, good call. Yes, you are.
Okay, so that would be 5 successes and 2 critical successes.
Unless it was your third one.
No, it was my second last one.
Okay, then you're good. I got 26 on that one.
What about my last one?
23.
Did you 23? Is 23 an 8 or is it 25 at this level?
We're using the book binding lore to aid, so it would be a 20.
Okay, so that's 3 critical successes and 2 regular successes.
3 critical successes. Damn.
Yeah, that 27 gets bumped to a 28, which is 10 higher, and then I've got a 30 and a 35 in line.
Okay, so 3 critical successes and how many regulars?
2.
So 6, so 8
My
points. but
natural.
you also get you also
no,
crit
sorry,
fail,
that natural
right?
one's an auto fail. That is an auto. Yeah. So it'd be 1 regular
Yeah.
success.
Oh, the natural one was a total of what?
18.
Okay, so it's a regular fail. You don't lose points.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So total of 8 extra points. Amazing.
Give us stuff now.
So you were at 8 out of 24. 8 plus 8 is going to be 16 out of 24. Your thresholds are 9, 12, and 15. So you're at 16 out of 24. So you get 3 new thresholds on Nimbaloth.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Nimbaloth topic. Let me pull it up here. So here's the thing is that you've already gotten through the first 2 thresholds of Nimbaloth. Now, and the way I have this set up is that the next thresholds are available for selection.
Oh.
So you can choose which 3 of the following lists that you want to have discovered.
Weaknesses.
The first
How to
is
bring down the lighthouse.
the first is Dogma and Worshippers. The second one is Holidays and Aphorisms. The next one is Holy Text and a Priest's Role. The next one is Lore, Temples, and Shrines. The next is Relationship with Other Religions. And then finally, Personification and Realms.
What do y'all think? We got 3 to choose from, so.
Personification and realms seems pretty relevant to where we're going to be meeting them.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. So personification and realms. Cam, you wanna
No,
got
I
a
have zero
preference?
The
All right,
one
let's
about the
do-
role of the priest earlier on might be
Yeah, that's a
useful
good
as
call
well.
too.
Okay, so we'll do priests and holy texts, and let's do temples and shrines in case there's a way to what is the word I'm looking for? Consecrate them.
Desecrate them.
Hey.
I'm a desecrate.
I guess
Okay,
that's
what's the-
technically accurate.
What's the first one you want to do?
Personification and realms. please.
Place.
Personification. While Dread Nimbaloth has no physical body of her own, she has been known to manifest a perceivable shape under the perfect conditions, growing visible after consuming a huge quantity of souls as an empty glass's contours become more defined once filled with liquid. In this form, Nimbaloth appears as a twisting melted mass of glistening blue fluid, with eyes the shape of yellow, four-pointed stars, with a tangle of translucent tentacles extending in every direction from the fluid. The tentacles' tips split into 7 smaller tendrils, where these quote-unquote hands touch the world. They leave her mark behind. A ring of 7 strange divots, where vegetation refuses to grow, stone grows chalky, and flesh festers as if it had forgotten how to heal. The position of the stars in the sky, the number of dead trapped within the swamp, and the time of year all seem to play a part in determining when this shadow of what might have once been Nimbaloth's body can appear, as does the presence of her cultists. But the manifestation rarely persists for long. Always, the manifestation ends in a sudden consumption from within when the empty death retreats to her domain, leaving behind a dead swampland of toxic waters and mindless undead. This form often appears in illustrations that depict the empty death, though Nimbaloth is also portrayed as a ghostly human woman with a single yellow eye in the shape of a 4-pointed star filling her otherwise blank face, and a long writhing mane of ghostly 7-fingered tentacles as her hair wraps around her nearly skeletal body in a smoky shroud. This version of her is surely the product of an artist's nightmare, yet cultists adopted it as their own. On Nimbaloth's realm, her realm is a twofold domain. She uses the banks of the River of Souls as a hunting ground and a highway to travel from world to world, but supposedly dwells on a distant dead planet. The name of this domain has been lost to time. The faithful of Nimbaloth refer to it in whispers only as Void Bracken. Here, an ancient battle between Nimbaloth and another power took place. Most myths suggest her foe was Pharasma, that resulted in a destruction of the Empty Death's body. This conflict didn't result in her death, however, and her cult fondly views the event as an evolution, for without a body, she could now come and go as she pleased along the shores of the River of Souls. Void Bracken spins still in the dark tapestry, wandering aimlessly through the universe but driven always by Nimbaloth's will, and when it draws near an inhabited system, the souls of the living are drawn from their mortal shells in a cataclysm referred to in rare surviving accounts as the Dead Tide.
Fuck.
That's metal as fuck.
According to certain passages scribed in ancient texts, like the Necronomicon, many of the great old ones and outer gods must wait for the stars to align just right to manifest. This is quite literally true in Nimbaloth's case. Eventually, her dead tides will claim enough lives so that Nimbaloth's death will die. The accumulated spiritual energy she has digested will ultimately undo her ancient defeat, allowing her to once more exist as a physical being. She will rise from death hungrier than ever.
Allowing her to once more exist as a physical being, she will rise from death, hungrier than ever.
We may have to stem this tide.
That is quite literally where the name of the show comes from.
That's cool. That's really metal.
Well, yeah,
next.
that kind of brings Belcora's plans into a bit more clarity about what the ultimate goal of the thing is.
Does it? It kind of makes me think Belcora is trying
what
to
do you think
harvest the power of Nimbaloth to enact her petty mortal vengeance.
I mean, usually these kind of big evil machinations are done without the forethought of, you know, what unleashing an unholy god is going to do to the world. But
so do you think that she understands the danger that she's doing? It seems like James doesn't and assumes that she's trying to, her hubris is trying to harness a power beyond herself. That's the guy. That's the what I got from you, James. Maybe.
I mean, that is the hot take. But I do think she knows what she's doing. I just think she's being used instead of the one who's being used. Or she is the one being used, not the one doing the using.
Any other thoughts
I'm
from
with
anyone?
James that I think that she was trying to pull a fast one on an outer god, thinking that it won't be in my lifetime that I have to deal with it, and right now I can get what I want.
I think her hubris is that she thinks that she's different and is powerful enough to align with this.
Oh, like be a herald?
Powerful outer god. Yeah, which always they die.
The counterpoint being she's just so nihilistic, she wants to burn it all fucking down.
True.
One of the things you know about Nimbeloth, one of the first thing you learned was that she is an uncaring god. She pays no attention to her worshippers. She has no anathema, before the remaster. Zero anathema to worshiping that god. Because she cares not at all for the worship.
Yeah.
She pays no attention to them.
Yeah. Well, that's what, and knowing that and building this temple and this everything, like, I think that she thinks she's that.
Wait, is the
Belcor, I think
lighthouse
she's different.
literally a
Built
fucking
different.
beacon for this god?
Well, there's a
Freeman's eyebrows
chapel.
just went up. Son of a bitch.
There's a chapel at the foot of the
And now he's
lighthouse.
shrugging.
So did my shoulders. In a solid shrug.
And we know it's in a swamp, and we know at the bottom, at the very bottom, there's been essence of Nimbeloth.
Yeah, there's a shrine to Nimbeloth down there, an abandoned shrine to Nimbeloth.
And you may remember the first time you ever saw Belcora when she took Otari away, it was that stone with the 7 divots in it that was just described. Wherever Nimbeloth has actually managed to touch these 7 divots are left behind.
That's where we got in the hand pun fight.
That's right.
We just walked by that rock to get to the old void glutton habitat.
It's true.
There is a piece of art somewhere. Oh, here we go. Check this out.
Ooh. Oh, wild.
Wow.
That's not
Yeah.
what I was expecting.
That's the latter personification of like the big smoky wispy hair and the single eye, in the face. And
I
these
didn't
tendrilled
expect so much
fingers,
light, in a way.
That's the river of souls. She's harvesting. Yeah.
That's not a soul that she's harvesting, though.
No, that's we've fought those before, haven't we?
No, she's harvesting a reptile from Mortal Kombat.
No, you haven't fought that. No, it does look like reptile. Cam might know what that is. Maybe. No,
I've
I've
definitely
seen it, but
one
I
of these before.
have no idea.
don't know what it is.
Oh my God, it's bothering me now.
All right. Well, what do you want to know next? What was the next option?
Next one was priests and
I
holy
feel like whatever
texts.
it is, it's gonna not be as cool as that one.
Hey, this one was
let's
cool,
see.
but-
Holy texts and a priest roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy texts, mentions of the Nimbeloth are rare, even for the esoteric topic of the outer gods. The Dread Necronomicon mentions her, and certain translations of that book purportedly contain descriptions of her true form, which might be the only place where Nimbeloth's true form is set down in print. This information isn't even present in the text most associated with her worship, the rare tome called the Whispering Reeds. The genesis of Whispering Reeds lies not in those who worship the empty death, but in those who sought to oppose her. The book consists of stories, myths, parables, and encounters with Nimbeloth gathered from hundreds of reasons and dozens of worlds. The compiler's name has been long forgotten, as they neglected to name themselves in the text. This matters not to those who worship Nimbeloth, nor does the fact that the author originally penned the book for the purpose of cataloging the ways in which Nimbeloth's influence could be opposed. The very act of collecting these old stories of the empty death brushing against the world had the opposite effect, and now those who seek to draw their goddess's attention to their world uses the Whispering Reeds to spread stories of her previous visits. For the most part, you knew this already. A priest's role within the worship of Nimbeloth. As with most cults of the Elder Mythos, The majority of Nimbeloth's devout don't worship out of respect or adoration so much as fear. For them, the concept of death isn't what evokes nightmare, but the fear of what judgment might await in the afterlife is what drives most to her faith. Those who have sinned, who have committed heresy against a prior faith, or simply live in constant terror of what Pharasma might say to them when they reach her throne, instead seek oblivion offered by Nimbeloth. They seek not to escape death or life, but to escape what they fear will be an even worse afterlife. Yet this is not the only motive that draws worshippers to her fold. Some, rather than being driven by a fear of the afterlife, are enticed by the opportunity to bask in the misery and despair of others. These members are some of the most awful in the sect, for they use the promise of oblivion that Nimbeloth offers to those who worship her as a lure to draw in the desperate to aid their own nefarious plots. Some seek to use these eager for oblivion zealots as disposable armies for acts of vengeance or rage. Others draw upon these worshippers as sacrifices to fuel abhorrent rituals or to craft horrific magic items. Even these predators of the desperate pale in comparison to the worst of Nimbeloth's worshippers, nihilists. Someone said that earlier. A nihilist. Nihilists who fully understand the empty death and see in her the ultimate tool to destroy a world they've grown to loathe. For these cultists, nothing less than using the void bracken to bring a dead tide upon their world will suffice. They might have a hidden plan to escape the world the moment all life is ended. They might even seek their own oblivion, or believe that Nimbeloth herself might reward them with dominion over a dead world. Regardless of their intent, these doomsday shepherds are the most dangerous of the empty death's worshippers.
Which one is
This-
Belcora?
This is a great info dump on the
Yeah.
heels Ep100, and this is awesome.
I don't know about you guys, but I think these sound like a bunch of jerks.
To put it in the simplest of
No,
terms.
Donnie.
Yeah, you ain't wrong, buddy. Nice.
What was the third one?
Temples and shrines.
Temples and shrines.
Tulok just converts to Nimbeloth after all this.
The banks of the rivers of souls brushes against every world, for when a mortal dies, their spirit steps out of their body to cross over these banks on the first step toward afterlife. Yet, as with most rivers, predators lurk along these perilous banks. Night hags, astrodemons, devourers, and worse stalk the river, eager to pluck souls free and feed on them. Dread Nimbeloth, the empty death, doesn't deign to hunt the shores of the river of souls alongside these predators. She instead feeds upon the predators themselves, reveling in consuming souls already being digested in the gullets of those who would deem themselves the apex hunters of the dead. Nimbeloth uses the shores of the River of Souls to manifest upon the universe's countless worlds, but she can't do so whenever she wills it. Before the empty death can manifest within a world, it must first endure a cataclysm so vast the outflow of the dead in the River of Souls weakens the boundaries between life and death. When such massive casualties sufficiently thin these borders, she can drift in through the cracks and stain what she finds. The resulting blurring between the River of Souls and its shore is metaphysically akin to the muddied boundary of a swamp. It's no coincidence that when Nimbeloth emerges into a world, she chooses to dwell in remote swamplands. Nimbeloth isn't a glutton. She's endlessly patient and can linger in a world for centuries before being noticed. More often, her presence in an isolated swampland simply festers, turning a region of natural beauty into a dangerous fen that draws all manner of monsters to its fetid heart. Such lands call to will-o-wisps. For these feeders of fears, the ruin wrought by the empty death is like a fine wine of unparalleled vintage. In time, many of these wisps realize the truth of the influence in their chosen haunts, and in most cases, these ravenous aberrations become Empty Death's most fervent.
I realize what that creature was. You
worshippers.
showed us now, Freeman. You said the name.
What was it?
Astrodaemon.
Astrodaemon, yeah.
It's interesting because when I was originally thinking about Nimbleoth, I'm like, this creature must be gigantic, you know, like floating through space or at the River of Souls, you know, like
It's impossibly large,
a grand scale,
impossible to understand entity. Yeah,
yeah.
that's why you always picture like a Cthulhian or like Lovecraftian kind of thing, right?
But
Well, that's what I was
then-
saying with that first form of like fluid with tentacles coming out of it and shit.
And then, you know, when it ends up on a planet, the scale just gets, you know, akin to the scale of the planet. So it's like,
Yeah.
she can be infinitely large or human or whatever, medium size.
Are we gonna fight a god in this adventure?
It
It
only
only goes to 12th level, right? 10th level.
Yeah, also-
you could technically reach 11th if you play your cards right. Yeah.
You're kind of like a god, aren't you, right now, Raphael?
Yeah, sort of.
We got a little more here
Okay.
too. I ended there, but there's still more. So there's also
Real quick, I do
temples
have
and shrines,
one
which is
other
another part of
fun
the topic.
lore thing that might be applicable here.
Yeah.
You remember the Siege of Absalom by Tar-Baphon? That was on the Isle of Kortos and caused a massive casualty event. And I think that is linked to this and how she found her way in.
Ooh, so that was
Well,
the
that
first
happens.
time.
That happens after her death. After Belcorra's death. That siege of Absalom.
But think of all those plans that they had laid out in the
'Cause the
models
sea-
in that room. Maybe.
Yeah. The siege from Tar-Baphon was recent
Yeah, it's within, like, 3 or 4
Galarian
years.
lore. But Belcorra was planning and building this place 500 years ago, prior.
I'm just wondering if that's why she's
Yeah.
more.
So,
like,
you may remember
active.
way back when they
I don't
saw
know.
Yeah.
Just a weird connection. I'm sorry.
You're on a great track though. Like it's exactly the sort of thing you'd be like, oh shit. Like, had it gone worse than it did, it could have been exactly what you're thinking. The thinning of that veil.
Sorry. Yeah, continue. on.
With all the casualties. Yeah, you're on the right track. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay. Temples and shrines. Often the members of a cult of the Empty Death consist of the truly desperate, those with little money and less hope. They conduct their worships in their homes or what passes as a home. Partially collapsed shacks, abandoned barns, or even slumped survivalist shelters all suffice for the worship of Nimbleoth. The rarer cults led by deviants of means construct larger structures to honor Nimbleoth and often build these structures as mockeries of other churches by including stained glass windows and mosaics and other works of art that honor the outer goddess. In such cases, the structure often serves a secondary purpose, such as a castle, a manor house, or the like. Curiously, these larger structures often share a particular feature, a tower that serves as a beacon or lighthouse as a way to honor will-o-wisps, which the cult adore. Cam gets a hero point.
Hero point.
To her followers, will-o-wisps are Nimbleoth's eyes, and her gaze looks out upon the world through the lambent glow of these supernatural predators. A beacon or lighthouse in a temple thus symbolizes a will-o-wisp, but also they believe it gives Nimbleoth a lens through which to gaze upon the world. Nimbleoth's symbol is a skull with moss stuffed in its jaws, although her cultists often create variants of it as crude dolls or effigies of moss-caked bones and fragments of skulls. Temples that can afford to be open about their affiliation with the goddess often adorn their structures with skulls that have moss carefully grown into soggy, vermin-infested beards, or with moss draperies that hang down over archways to form moist curtains in place of proper doors.
I don't think moist curtains should be allowed on the show.
Play it
I don't care
again,
for
Sam.
So I am interested to find out that even though I knew like void gluttons and stuff were kind of like working with Velcora, but even like the kind of more benign floating around the swamp will-o-wisps might have been up there just like rooting for Nimbleoth the whole time. I thought they were kind of more just like chill, more like evil but kind of benign. But no, they're just another set of dicks up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I also was just, when you were reading that last little bit about the skull with the moss, and they was talking about creating crude dolls and effigies, I was just thinking how, like, I want, like a macrame or, like skull with the moss in it, you know? Like, not macrame,
Yeah.
but, like, what am I, like, knitted, you know? People that make those.
like a crocheted.
Crochet, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be tight.
Yeah, that would be wicked. I'll see if I get my mom on it. Mom,
Yeah.
crochet this. Just
You
send
know,
her a picture of
Nimbleoth.
that'd be amazing.
Imagine she just already knew what Nimbleoth was.
That
and you're
was-
just like,
Yeah.
Not my mother. No way.
She's a Pharasma woman.
She sends me crocheted blue spirals in the mail every week.
Who deals in outer gods these days anyway?
Okay, so that's a lot of research. That's a lot of info dump. Let's go to who was not involved. Lump. Sal. You have headed to town.
I probably try.
Where do you go?
I've been introduced to Morlibin, I think, at this point. With Tulak. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. If
yeah,
not,
I think so.
then Tulak told me, and that's probably the first place.
Actually,
if not, I'll go to Vandy. Like,
I don't remember. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, we'll see half.
Straight to
But
the bar.
I'm just go
Yeah.
straight to the bar. I'm done adventuring for the day. I'm just gonna get drunk and go sleep in a bed again because I like that. No, Lump will go to Morlibin and just open the door if it's unlocked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Open for business. Ting ting. Oh yes. Hello. Kind of squints his eyes at you,
Oh, yeah,
looking
I've
down over
absolutely
his
put on my hat of
glasses.
disguise.
Oh,
Fine.
Sal, is it? Yeah, Sal. We've either met or I've heard about you in the periphery helping the heroes. Oh, there's our retcon. What can I do for you?
Are you able to procure scrolls, or do you have any scrolls available for purchase?
I've got a few here. Got plenty of spells written down as well. What
I'm
is it you're looking for?
Featherfall, in particular. A spell to slow our descent as we go deeper
Oh.
into the gauntlet.
Right. Yes, not a terribly complicated spell. One of the earlier ones you learn as an apprentice, usually. I'm sure I could whip up a copy here for you.
I would require 4, preferably 5, but if you only have the one, that's fine. I would just... I need somebody that can make talismans then, if you do not have enough.
I'm not aware of any talisman dabblers around here. I'm sure I could help you out with the scroll. How much does it take to make a scroll? Do you know off the top of your head,
4
Cam?
gold pieces.
Oh, it would
How
be,
long?
4 days to make 4.
Oh,
Yikes.
damn. Okay.
I'm 90% sure. But
Um,
didn't James do this for Azori with making scrolls, or did you not end up doing that? I don't remember.
That was more eating scrolls.
Yeah, she
And
used
learning
them.
them,
She
yeah.
didn't really make any. I have looked into magical crafting before, and I'm pretty sure you're right. It's 8 hours. It would be. We should be able to find it in the downtime activities.
Okay.
But just so our listeners know, we're on the ball. Featherfall is
Oh,
gentle landing in the remaster.
Mm.
I just kept saying it wrong.
Oh yeah. So you either have to cast a spell. You do have to cast a spell in order to do it. The casting must come from the spellcasters expending a spell slot. Caster has to provide any costs. Like other consumables, scrolls can craft batches of 4. Okay. All scrolls of one batch must contain the same spell, the same level, blah, 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 blah. Okay. It doesn't really specify how long it takes, but it seems to follow the same normal crafting rules.
You
but
must
it can be
spend
done
4
in
days
batches
at work
of 4.
for any crafting. It's just the general rule.
Okay.
2 days, unless
okay.
it's changed in the remaster.
There was the Treasure Vault book had alternate crafting rules, but I have not looked at that in a long time, to be honest. So let's go ahead and roll ourselves a D100 here to see if he perhaps has any on hand at all. Let's see here. You're looking for a total of 5,
looking
eh?
for 5.
So I'm gonna roll and see. Oh, you've rolled. No, I'm gonna roll. Let's go with, for every threshold of 20, he happens to have one on hand. So the higher the number, the more he's got. That's like up to 5. Rolling. I rolled a 6.
Has none.
Oh no.
I'm afraid. I could get to work on this, but I would have to wait to tomorrow, prepare the spell a few times, and he's going through the whole motions, then to craft them down, write them down. It'll take me some time, but I could put the work in. You'll just need to come back tomorrow, next day.
Lump
He
swallows
starts doing the
having failed
math.
Their mission. I see. Thank you very much. And since they're already in town, is just going to go try Vandy, see if there's anything in the library that maybe there's some scrolls laying around. I don't know. Just doesn't want to fail.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you can go visit the library, and like they actually try not to keep too many scrolls on hand unless they are of particular use for like
Gotcha.
their services. So
I didn't think so.
Featherfall is not among
It's
them.
Arcane Primal, I think. So Lump will just,
Yeah.
out of options, head back down to the Gauntlet, making their way through the swamp.
Yeah, you're kind of
Yeah,
at a
you
low.
look. Grappling hook and a
Lump
rope.
has ropes inside them, so that's the plan. No, they're called
Those are
inside
called
ropes.
intestines.
Love that spell.
You're all gonna get to climb down them.
Okay, so Lump heads back, not having failed, just out of luck, down on the luck basically. But we can do the math later. We'll assume you place the order with Morlabens if you want, and then see what happens. But you're heading back, and in order to leave this place, you have to like teleport to the servants' quarters. And then walk your way out. But this is you're on your own, so you were hurrying back, I would assume, Lump. But is there something like else to like you're on your way back? You feel like you've got time to spare probably because you spent so little time in town now, and you're on your way back, kind of feeling a bit dejected. But you're suddenly able to just kind of like be by yourself and take in your surroundings. How does that feel? What do you do?
Lump hasn't been alone
Centuries, maybe.
decades. Like, it's been a very long time because they were either with the devils, they were sharing a room, they were with the party took them into town. They haven't been just completely alone in a very long time, and they know they have to hurry back, but the flashes of the memories that brought about by that wave of despair and the prayer beads, like, they know they need to make sure that those memories are real, and they weren't implanted by the flesh warpers just to like cause pain and trauma, just to mess with their mind. And they start running down the hallways in the servants' quarters like they know where they're going. There's this sense of fear and dread following behind them in their footsteps, and they start to break out into a cold sweat, and their ears start just filling with the sounds of wet chewing meat and people screaming, dying, and just filling the air with a cacophony of noise. They smell just the coppery scent of blood, and they run faster and faster and faster until they finally reach a door that is just ingrained in their mind. It's just the door. They look almost the same to anybody else, but the constant drip of blood off their deformed hand just smears on the doorknob, and it slips for a second as they try to turn it, their hand just shaking as they push open the door, and they cross the floor and just move the dresser out of the way. The dresser that it rolled under that day, and they see this green cat's eye marble underneath of it. A gift for behaving from their father that matched their eyes. And Lump swallows hard and picks it up as their throat constricts. The memories overpower them, and they squeeze it in their fists as they stare at the ceiling, crumpling to their knees, just trying to blink back tears, almost dry heaving, as they slowly crush the marble to dust in their palm.
As you sit there, flooded with all these memories, this overwhelming emotional moment for the second time today. This one almost self-imposed in a way, like just couldn't be helped. You realize that you're in this hallway, or you're near this hallway. As you were running through the hallways, you saw this, like, at some point in the corner of your vision, this green peripheral sort of energy glowing somewhere, but you passed by it and you continued on. You followed this path that you had, like, ingrained in your instinct. As you're sitting there, you realize that this energy seemed to have followed you a bit. You are in a room that is covered in bones. In fact, it's the bones of a defeated skeletal giant, among others. And this energy flows through the room towards you. And it suddenly forms the shape of a ghostly human man. And he says, "I don't know who you are, but you must tell them to hurry. She grows in power by the day. I am Utari. Save me below." And he dissipates in front of your eyes. And that's what we're going to call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.